In this tutorial we'll be doing something different. So we'll be using a double-sided crochet hook. We'll be using gray yarn and pink. So this would be 70% acrylic and 30% wool. So let's begin. So I already chained 52. That's because my crochet hook is a little smaller. So we will make sure that our chain is not twisted, and then we will join these two ends with a slip stitch. Then we will go into the next chain and we'll draw out the loop. Go again into the next chain and draw out the loop. We'll go into the next chain and draw out the loop. So we'll repeat this a few times. And then we'll grab the second yarn, in my case is pink, and then we'll turn our work around. Now we will work on the opposite side of the hook. So we just grab the yarn and then we will pull through one, wrap the yarn around the hook, pull through two, which would be one pink and one gray. Wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through two. Wrap the yarn around the hook, pull through two. So we repeat this until we have only two chains on our crochet hook. Now that we have two chains, we will turn our work around again and we will begin drawing out the loops. So we'll just go into the next chain and we'll draw out the loop. Again, we'll turn our work around and we'll start working with our pink yarn now. Now we have two chains on our hook. We'll turn our work around and now we'll start working with our gray yarn. So basically we'll just keep repeating the same thing. we will keep repeating this until we come at the end of this row. So now that we are at the end of this row, we will insert our hook into this first chain or stitch, and then we draw the loop. Then we'll go in the next chain, insert a hook into the next chain and draw the loop. Then we insert a hook into the next chain and draw the loop. So basically we will keep repeating this. Then we'll turn our work around and we'll repeat the same thing we did on our previous row. We will repeat this throughout this row. And now when we come to the end of this row, there won't be any more joining. We'll just continue working on a never-ending row. So we will repeat row 2 until our work reaches 18 centimeters or 7 inches. So now that our work measures 7 inches, we will start to decrease. As you can see, the first row will curl up, but I think that's fine. So now we will begin to decrease. So we will draw out 1 loop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we will decrease. So we will insert our hook through the stitch 7 and 8, and then we'll draw the loop. And then we'll begin again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll decrease stitch 7 and 8. And then we will turn our work around. Now we work with our gray yarn and we draw the loops again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we will decrease on stitch 7 and 8. Then we'll repeat So we'll repeat this throughout this row. So now for our next row, we'll draw out 5 loops, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And see where we decreased in our previous row. Now we insert our hook between stitch 6 and 7, and then we'll draw out the loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we insert our hook through these 2 stitches, and then we'll draw out the loop. And then we'll turn our work around and work with our pink yarn. So we'll repeat this throughout this row. So for the next row, we'll draw out 4 loops. And then we'll decrease on stitch 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then decrease on stitch 5 and 6. And then we'll turn our work around and we'll start working with our pink yarn. And we repeat this throughout this row. For our next row, we will draw out 3 loops. And then we'll decrease on stitch 4 and 5. So we will draw out 3 loops. And we'll decrease on stitch 4 and 5. Then we'll turn our work around and then start working with the pink yarn. So we repeat this throughout this row. For our next row, we draw out 2 loops, and then we'll decrease on stitch 3 and 4. Then we'll draw out 2 loops, and then decrease on stitch 3 and 4. And then we'll turn our work around and start working with our pink yarn in this case. We'll decrease every 3rd and 4th stitch throughout this row. For our next row, we'll cut our 2nd yarn, leave a long tail, not too long, but so we'll draw out 1 loop and decrease in stitch 2 and 3. Then we turn our work around, then we wrap the yarn around our hook, and then we pull through all of these stitches. Again, we turn our work around, and with our gray yarn we draw out one loop and then decrease in stitch 2 and 3. Draw out one loop and then decrease in stitch 2 and 3. And then we turn our work around, wrap the pink yarn around our hook and pull through all of these stitches. So we repeat this throughout this row. Now we'll cut the gray yarn too. So now this gray yarn that we just cut, we put it through this top of the head. And we grab the pink yarn, tighten it up a little bit. Then with our tapestry needle, we'll finish off this hat. Basically we'll be just going around through our last loops. So this is how the finished hat looks. I hope this video tutorial was helpful and easy enough to follow. Thanks for watching.